How do babies become violent? You know that newborn babies are like angels. The aim of this video is to explain how these little angels lose their wings when they grow older. But before that, as promised, at the end of my last video, I will now tell you why Abba shouted at the top of the voice, "Mali, come and join the queue at once." Remember, I told you about how that old lady teacher shouted at Abba, "Abba, put the bag down at once and get the SRB out." Instead, if that teacher said, "Abba dear, please put the bag down and get the SRB out, please," in a gentle and kind way, Abba's own reaction when making the queue would have been quite different. As this boy was naughty all the time, teachers have been shouting at him all the time. His brain was programmed to shout at the wrongdoer. He has never heard kind words spoken to him. You know the popular saying about computers, garbage in, garbage out. If you input garbage, expect only garbage as output. That is my explanation. Do you agree or not? Please send your opinion and comments. Okay, so in this video I will tell you how these little angels lose their wings when they grow older. The parents who stare at each other and do not smile with the baby are unfortunate because their babies take about 3 or 4 months to show the first smile. Many parents often do not realize that the input devices of their infants, the eyes and the ears, are extremely alert and receptive to all audible and visual inputs. The processing of the data thus input is carried out intensely in the baby's brain without interruption, as there is no audible or visible output from the baby's output devices. Without realizing this fact, parents often argue with each other in front of the baby. They stare at each other. The facial expressions change to unholy and ugly looks. The tone of voices changes to a higher pitch than normal. Physical actions become quite different. I am sure you know what I mean. The worst is physical violence. Babies notice new and different things more than the usual things. So, anger could be the second or one of the first few things babies learn immediately after learning to smile. How sad, isn't it? When babies become bigger, they become naughty gradually. I will discuss about why they become naughty in my next video. Many parents tell that their children are disobedient. They punish their children. For the slightest thing, the parents shout at their children. "Don't do that. Don't do this. Why did you do that? Why did you do this?" All this in anger. That is how brains of little children get programmed over a long period of time. Children are constantly and firmly told that they have to listen to parents as they are right. So they listen to parents and learn the so-called correct way to shout when somebody does something wrong. Since parents say that they are always right, children who follow them also begin to think that they too are always right when they go into the world. They find fault with everything said and done by others. They dutifully start correcting others' mistakes. They do it in a violent way they become parents, they repeat the mistake because they are programmed to do it. So violence passes from one generation to the other. My granddaughter Shavini will be 11 years in July this year, 2018. She and the mother were living with us as the father was working abroad. My daughter, who was also a teacher, listened to my ideas about bringing up the baby without punishing. Shavini was never hit at home. She was hit for the very first time by a student in her nursery class and couldn't stop crying, which has surprised the teachers. To make a long story short, Shavini can't hit another in anger. In fact, she can't hit anyone, even in fun. Now I am going to ask you the most important question of my entire course. Don't you think if parents bring up children like how Shavini was brought up for one generation, world will be free of violence thereafter? Of course, it will take about 25 years for the world to change. But remember, when big trees are straight, baby plants below them will also grow straight. What do you think? Please keep thinking.